that paperwork would have to be reviewed by my attorney and approved, and he's going to have to pay for all that lawyer time. If that doesn't happen, I'm not putting it in. So today we're here on one of our projects. We are going to be checking the running gear to see how it looks. This boat does not get ran very often, and we're currently doing a bunch of other work on it. We're waiting for engine shop to get here. I know I'm a Volvo guy, and that's kind of what I stick with nowadays. So we're going to be inspecting this running gear, and I know it's still a mess. It should have been, we should have had it blasted before. Yeah, I'll get Antonio to pressure wash it.
Looks like you're going to be installing some underwater lights here. You got them kind of mapped out?
Yeah, that's what these 4 blue X's are for. He wants underwater lights, so that's what we're going to give him. I think we might have to do some work on this platform we built. It's got some worn out hardware and stuff. It's all corroded, so might have to replace some of that. We'll see. Let's hop down here and take a look at this running gear. Oh, jeez. There we go. Wow. Now the cutlass bearings are dry. I do believe he needs new cutlass bearings. Yeah, I just noticed something here. I don't like this at all. We just installed this. We're replacing the through hulls on the boat, and it's hard to see, but there's some voids in here where the 5200 has pockets in it and it's open. The right thing is to take that back out and redo it. And it's just, we didn't do it right the first time. We got to make sure it's done right the first time. We'll eat the cost for having to replace that because that's the right thing to do.
Good thing you're doing a quality check.
Yep.
Always got to check.
Disappointing, but it happens. All right, let's go over to the other side and check that. Here you can see the pile of crap that we've taken out so far. Strainers, main shutoff valves were no good, so everything's getting taken out and redone. They were all rotted away and stuff. The bonding system's all shot. The hoses are all shot. Cutlass bearings are so-so. I don't know that we'll do them now. We'll probably leave the cutlass bearings alone unless the engine shop needs the shafts out or disconnected, then we would do them. Yeah, see, this one looks good. That's what's left of the speed wheel, but that's not working anymore. I doubt it's even hooked up to anything anymore. We got two big ones in the back to replace. We're still waiting on parts for that. So these are the main engine pickups right here and right here. Had to take all those out because the shutoff valves were all stuck and rotted. It's been a job, going to continue to be a job.
See how it's like all green? So they're going to turn green over a while, but when everything is green that touches seawater and nothing is hooked up to the bonding system, some people call it the green death because what's happening is it's just eating itself alive because seawater is just sitting in there. Seawater, metal, chemical reaction, voltage, blah, 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 science. But that wasn't connected to, actually it had an eyelet that went to the bonding system, but the bonding system is so completely corroded out and deteriorated that the wires have just fallen apart. So bonding system wasn't hooked up to the zinc. Bonding system wasn't hooked up to all the metal pieces that are in contact with seawater. So we are going to go through and any metal. So every through hull, every hose, because even the hoses, even though they're rubber, they got metal inside of them, they rust out and fail. We're going to replace it all. So when it goes back in the boat and back into the water, its bonding system is going to be working. It's going to be hooked up the way that it's supposed to. And we don't have to worry about any of these getting pinholes or cracks or anything in there because they've been unprotected in the water for the last few years.
It's in rough shape or not?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it does.
I just want to open it up and make sure.
We're going to need to get that tool.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to do it now. We'll just open it up, clean it up, and see what it looks like if it's starting to hit or anything.
You mean so we might be able to reuse it?
Maybe.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I mean, it's a big piece.
Yeah, for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Very
It
expensive. Oh, that looks like a pretty nice boat. 350s. Looks fairly new. I'm just over here at the boatyard with the guys while we're working on the Sea Ray here. We just found out today that it's probably going to be out for another 4 weeks, and he's added more work to our list. So I'm going to be interviewing Mel in a little bit so that he can tell us a little bit about what our new findings are for what we need to repair. The boat has flooded a couple times in the last couple of years, and so this is a result of the bonding system and all the different problems that we've had. But we're going to get it all fixed up. Look how rotted this is. Look at the cracks in it. Mel just said that this is everything that got pulled out of the bilge of this boat.
Not that.
A lot of junk. His air conditioning strainer?
Yeah.
Well, looks like we got another one. Green, green, green.
So Sam, one of our lovely viewers, sent this in, and this tool is probably older than I am, so I was testing it out. It actually works pretty good. So thank you, Sam. Do appreciate it. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, cool. Mel is trying to give us all a hard time right now.
Mel always gives us a
So
hard
if you do that check with the instrument,
Yeah.
where you check the difference in the resistance of the boat to the water,
potential.
then you start touching things in the boat. As soon as you touch that light, you're going to get a big difference compared to the rest.
The light inside of the boat?
The negative light. The case on the light is the same as the negative wire.
It discharges to the battery.
But if it's on the outside of the light is outside in the water, it is discharging into the water also.
Here's the top that broke off of the...
Or maybe Matt will just want to get a brand new top half. I don't think that much time. It's just trying to find...
What about the plastic? Will it break?
The plastic will probably break. And it's also trying to find another one of these that fits. It threads in properly as well.
Oh, shoot. You just got all that yuck stuff.
I'm on Mel's truck. I know.
You're going to be in trouble.
Get me a water bottle. Emergency.
So that's just as bad as Blackwater, no?
I would say so. I mean, it's dying seaweed, so doesn't smell the greatest.
But that one wasn't too full, so that's good. That's all you get for 2 trips in 7 years. So we found this inside the strainer. And then look at what's inside there.
Yep, same thing.
Oh, wow.
Same thing. A lot less.
That's nasty. This one has a crack in it. I'm coming for
It better not have a crack in it. The only thing in that truck that has a crack in it is my head.
and the entire truck.
Here's our boat getting ready to go in the water. It's 3 pods. We did a full service on the engine and the pods. He had a bottom job done. It comes out right here. We're good on the generator, Chris, so turn the air conditioning on. Okay, Chris has got power on. Turn on the air conditioning. Clear. Yeah, go center. Starboard's off. I didn't shut it off. All right, there we go. A few too many captains there on that launch. Got a little hairy. Chris, I'll talk to AJ or I'll let you know if we're going to Uber or what we're going to do. Need to get Sayel over there and do a quick detail job on that thing. It'll be looking good. It's a relief. Got that one gone. That was 3 D6s and 3 IPS 10s. Full service on all 3. We got a few things we got to check on the ride over there, so we'll see what Chris has to say on when he gets done. All right, over to the next yard. Got a couple boats over there we got to go look at. Where's AJ?
I stuck him back in the back and hammered him in the hole.
Is he really back there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi, AJ. Okay. How's things going here?
Now we're struggling to get it back,
Together?
everything back in place where it was.
Is that board serviceable or do we need a new one?
I was looking at it. It's not in very good shape. And I wasn't sure if you and Chris had already talked about this.
What, the board?
Yeah, when he took this all apart. So I wasn't sure if you guys had already decided what you're changing and what you're leaving the same, or...
I think it's all. That's just where the batteries go.
Yeah.
I mean, the board's not like falling apart, rotted out, right?
No. There's some termite issue on this piece down here.
It's serviceable, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not beyond usable, but...
AJ, what are you doing back there? Ooh, look at that pretty air conditioning strainer. Look at all the pretty strainers. Yeah, I saw.
See, I was going to take this off, screw it into the back of this, but the QD is broke. So.
Oh, we'll have to get a new one of those. All right, fellas, I'll leave you alone.
All right.
I'm going back to the shop. I got waiting for a package. If you need me, call me. As you know, we got it all running. Had to get some new boxes or reman boxes, control boxes for it. And that's running. It's running great. However, we had a little bit of oil in the coolant. I did some research and saw that, you know, this truck is a 97, that after a while on the oil cooler, which is that part right there, it's a long metal tube. You can see it right there. That's nice and shiny and new. That the O-rings can start leaking and the gaskets can start leaking. So we pulled it off and it did look like the gaskets in there were shot. They're metal gaskets with little rubber pieces on them. And it looked like where it was going from the oil to the coolant side. So I got a new one of those, put that in there. And right now it just has water in the system. We're going to run it for a little while. We already ran it and there's still a little bit of oil left. It might be residual, I think. So we're going to flush it again, full of distilled water, and then just run it and check and see if we still get oil in there. It was kind of hard to, I think it's just residual. So we'll just try to clean it out as best we can. And so I did finally go down and get a bill from the mechanic. He told me he didn't need any money. I just said, well, I'm going to give you a check. Small island, and I do think that he watches our channel. So, but I just wanted to say that I appreciate Steve, you know, doing what he did for as long as he did. Came to an agreement. I wrote him a check, and I even wrote it for a little bit more than he asked. Got him all taken care of. So we've got a boat out of the water right now. Got big shafts in it. One of them is twisted. The owner doesn't want to spend the money on a new shaft. It's a lot. He wants me to put it back in. I told him the only way I would put it in is, one, if he gave me a full, drawn up by an attorney, release of liability offering no liability, as I said, no warranty, no guarantee, nothing on that install. That paperwork would have to be reviewed by my attorney and approved, and he's going to have to pay for all that lawyer time. If that doesn't happen, I'm not putting it in. That twisted shaft is going to cause wear on the struts, wear on the new cutlass bearings, wear on the lip seal, wear on the coupling flange, wear on the transmission. It's also going to cause wear on a brand new rebuilt engine. I don't want to put a bad shaft in, especially pretty much a new motor. Now that shaft is going to be loaded up, the engine's going to be loaded up, the transmission's going to be loaded up. The engine guys know about it, that it should be replaced. It's just, you know, the guy's burning through money like water. It's crazy how much money he's spending. So what would you guys do? I'm leaning towards he's going to have to get somebody else to put it in, because I don't want to do it. Because even with paperwork, something could go wrong, then he just starts suing people. Let me know. What would you do? How would you handle this? So a couple questions for you guys. If there's any attorneys out there, I'm very skeptical about the attorney thing, having his attorney get with my attorney and draw up a bulletproof release of liability. If we put the shaft in, that's not my favorite idea. What would you do? Or do I walk away and say, I'm sorry, I can't do that. You're going to have to find a different mechanic, because it's not the right thing to do.
I joined Chris over here at the boatyard because he's been working on a boat. Showed you the electrolysis problem that it had when we hauled it out a couple weeks ago. And so he's going to kind of go over some of the things that he's discovered since it's been out of the water.
It's one of those things, the more you keep looking, the worse it gets. Yeah, so like you mentioned, there was some electrolysis. The first time that we got called is because there was a lot of pitting the rudder. And this was literally started after the boat, I think, only got put back in the water after some yard work for a month or so. It started forming pretty quick. The boat was still in the water. I went there. What I found was the bonding wire that had actually went to the rudder post was broken, but it was broken in a way that if you looked at it, everything looked fine. But underneath where the actual connector was, as soon as I took it off, you could hear it crumbling and parted. So wire was bad. We replaced the wire. That was a couple of months ago. The pitting didn't spread, and we even put the probe in the water to check that the bonding system, that the hull potential was there, and everything was good. Then later on, I believe as the timeline goes, they started complaining about more. There was a bunch all in here on the trim tabs. Certain through holes were starting to get electrolysis. So we had to replace the trim tab actuators anyways. And then I think for some other, and for a bottom job, the plan was to get it pulled. So now that we got it pulled, we had a chance to actually go through the entire system. What I ended up finding is that one connector for the negative side for the bonding system had pulled right out. So either it was never crimped down all the way, vibration, whatever. Anyway, so there was kind of a major failure point for the entire bonding system, which is why everything started to experience electrolysis. Since we had it out of the water, we started in just going through anything that we thought while it was out of the water could be checked, changed, or whatever. As I was putting the bonding system back together, I started realizing these are the three, they're like right next to each other inside the boat. They actually are just like this. 2 bait wells, and this is the pickup for the main. What I found is there was around all of the seams, rust was actually starting to come through. It wasn't just surface rust coming through the fittings and the seams. So we started opening everything up, and as we started opening everything up, all the little fittings, we started finding pinholes, and it was actually rusting from the inside out, a lot of pitting and whatnot. One major problem is that when these were installed, some low-grade stainless steel was actually used.
Oh, wow.
Either way, there was all of the seatcocks, all of the valves were seized. The only way I could get them to move is with like a breaker bar that long. Because we had it out of the water, and because of all the pitting and everything, we ended up pulling them all out. These came out pretty simple. This did not. So we ended up having to grinding and cutting in order to get this out, because all of the threads inside here were so seized up that even when we had a wrench and a breaker bar in this side and a pipe wrench and a breaker bar on this side, it was not budging at all. So it was pretty seized up. So we ended up cutting it. Funny enough, with this boat, it wasn't as simple as just cutting it off, because all of the pickups use a screen and a box. So all of the through holes are way up in here. Just kind of had to cut, readjust like our guard and whatnot, and we could only go so much because our cutting wheel wouldn't fit up in there, so we could kind of only cut at angles. So we cut as much as we could to get all of the meat off, then took a little grinder in there, grinded it down to get it all off. Now that we have everything out, we're back into the putting everything, we're gonna prep everything and get it back into the reinstallation phase, and then hopefully we can get the boat splashed and they can go and have fun. So I got a question for you guys out there. So whenever I go to a boat, I bond everything. I make sure that that bonding system is hooked up to the zinc on the transom there, and to the negative side of the battery via a negative bus bar or straight to the battery. I've always heard two different things: bond everything or bond nothing. So I'm just kind of curious as to what you guys have heard or what practice you guys use. Mine is bond everything.
All right, so we were underneath the boat looking at the running gear, and we just happened to notice there's a crack right here and there's water coming out of it. And this is also all wet right here and here, which is the strut. I texted the owner, I sent him a video. We'll see what he says. Here, Chris, pour a little water in that cutlass bearing. Yeah. That's good. Must be this one.
You want me to go inside and pour some down? I don't know if I can get
No,
the
I don't think
seal.
so. Yeah, it's acceptable to me.
Okay.
It's just dry. This one loosened up. I can feel that.
Well, you drove it over here, right?
No, just from the seawall in.
Did you notice, like, when you were in gear, any
No,
abnormal wobbles or anything?
no,
like
it's
that?
all
Okay.
good. But the thing I did notice is the belt on the engine is making noise. So
Yeah.
slosh some up in here.
I just make it rain.
How's that? It's still making a little chatter, but oh, it's getting better now. There we go. Yeah, I think we're all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I asked much better.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, let's see. Chris has pretty much rebuilt the bonding system on the boat. The yard has got it sanded down, ready for some paint. We put zincs on the trim tabs. We got new trim tab actuators. Got to flop those nuts around right there. Yep. Those are backwards. Chris is working on these now. Be sure to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and keep watching. All right. Let's go check on the other guys. Okay, I'm hoping to get this little yacht back in the water today. So let's go see how the guys are doing. It's looking real nice. I'm gonna have the yard is gonna put another zinc on there. We got the props switched around here, or the nuts were on wrong, so we got those switched around. Got new zincs put on, got new hardware, put zincs on the trim tabs because they were not bonded, so I wanted to get some protection on there, so we did that. And let's go see how the boys are doing. Hey, Chris, if we get to a point, I'd really like to put this in the water today. And like, I know we talked about finishing it, but
All we gotta do is tighten up the bolts on that port side actuator.
they're done. He did them.
Okay.
Yeah. What time do you want to splash? 1:30?
Well, I think they get back like 1.
1? Okay. All right. Let's plan on that. I'll go talk to him right now and say around 1. What you doing, AJ?
Trying to thread this bolt in with these washers so it doesn't flop around.
Yep. All right. Good deal. Let's go over here and check on this boat that we're working on with Mel.
Yes, sir.
How we looking, Mel?
Doing good, doing good.
When do you think this will be ready to go in the water?
How long does 52 have to cure? 24 hours? As I get the through hull for the generator water and the transom zinc bolts through, it's done. It can go in then. So we can put the hoses on any time.
Yeah, a day or two.
I can go tomorrow. We're gonna get. You say we're gonna get the fittings today.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
Everything we have to do should have been done.
Okay, well, hopefully this is all wrapped up for another year at least. I think we got it nailed down. We got the bonding system fixed. That was a major problem. Because the bonding system was bad, caused a bunch of other problems with metal in the boat. It ate it all up. Yeah, we should be good to go.
So how soon before you'll go inspect it again and make sure it's good to go?
Few weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to make sure?
Yeah, maybe on a clear day, we'll put the drone in the water and look around underneath to see if the bottom pane's burning anywhere.
Me and Matt, because we got training for the next few days.
Oh, it must be nice. Training. Whoa. You gotta pay attention, dude. You gotta pass.
There you go.
Pretty nice of you to help those people over there.
Yeah, well,
Their boat.
yep, they're coming in. We got to take a look at them. Yeah.
Where's the second one?
In the front, between the two engines.
Okay, and then the Volvo oil is good oil for
No,
which ones?
the buckets.
The buckets?
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta go back to the shop.
So I've done a video about how gracious people have been and how generous, and well, it happened again. So I'm going to read you guys a little letter that we got in the mail today. His name's Peter. Hi Matt, I recently became a very loyal subscriber. About a month ago, I underwent spinal fusion surgery. A very good friend of mine had suggested your channel to keep me busy while trying to recoup from the headaches of after surgery. Catching up on your videos certainly kept me busy. Your channel is awesome. Lots of great content, and the effort you and your wife put into the videos is commendable. In any event, I know you've been looking for an electric screwdriver. I have one that I think you are going to love and find very useful, especially for the type of work you're involved with. I love it. It's a Costco item. My wife and I ran out and grabbed one for you. I hope you like it. Let me know. I'm also very impressed on how you and your wife run your business. The only way to be successful is to be honest and trustworthy. Looking forward to your continued success. You continue to amaze me. It's humbling, and your generosity is, what do I say? It's amazing. It's restoring my hope in humanity, put it that way. We deal with some negative people in business, and it just really drags you down. And then something like this happens. I already kind of cut it open. Peter and wife, thank you very much. I guess it's called a Fantic cordless screwdriver kit. You can get it at Costco. Wow, fancy. I think it's got different torque settings, got a nice light on it. This will be a staple in my bag for sure. Because believe it or not, you start turning a bunch of screws, and at the end of the day, your wrists hurt, your elbows hurt. I have tendonitis here from turning screws with a manual screwdriver. I think, does this go in like this? Peter and wife, thank you very much. Godspeed on your back recovery. I hope everything goes well. And thanks again for the electric screwdriver. You guys amaze me.